Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing a model launched in 2012, though the example you see here was sold in 2019. From Armin Strom, you are looking at the manual New Generation Earth, so also known as the Manual Earth, second generation. It came out in 2012, and it features a number of unique elements: a large size, fine decoration, and advanced engineering. What's also a little bit odd is that it has all three of my initials on the dial side of the watch, so more on that in a moment. We have here a DLC-coated stainless steel case. It's rated at 43.5 millimeters, though if I measure it at the bezel, it's 44 on the nose. 13.4 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 50.5 millimeters with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. And you can see that through the use of a curved spring bar here and a curvature to the molded end of the strap, you do have a full range of motion for this strap, so it's not rigidly locked to the case flank. You can pull it straight down out of the lugs, which is the main reason I'm able to wear this size of a watch on my wrist, which is not large at 16 centimeters circumference, but you can see that the lugs are inboard of the edge of my wrist. And although it's stark, it fits, it's secure, it's comfortable. It's not thin, but it's also not thick at 13.4 millimeters thick, so it will easily slide underneath a jacket cuff and a surprising number of shirt cuffs as well. I'd say this will probably fit on a wrist as small as, well, let's just say my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference and up. The strap is a mighty thing. Very thick, matte finished. You can see on the bottom, it is an Armin Strom branded strap, brand new, no crimping, no gouging. It has their monogram. We've got a folding clasp, which, like the watch, is steel with DLC. Open it up, you can see it's a trigger release system, so it can't pop open inadvertently. You must press both of these triggers in order to open the clasp. You can also see the use of ceramic spring-loaded pin snaps, so the snappiness of the tolerance will not diminish with time as the steel cannot aggress against the ceramic. It's a resilient material. Armin Strom branded. You can see Brogioli, the supplier for that particular part. The case is more nuanced than you may think, as we have a combination here of satin finish and polish, which is a very subtle kind of contrast, but a contrast nonetheless. You can also see that there's a little bit of a flare. So this is a sort of inverse conical profile, narrower at the bottom and flaring out towards the top. We have a polished bevel on the edge of the lug, and the lugs have a pronounced step from the case flank. The crown here is a combination of media blast and polish with the Armin Strom logo. And we'll wind it up, make sure everything's operating well. We have a multi-layered dial. We have an Armin Strom nameplate on the flank. We've got circular Côte de Genève at center, satination on the wheels, solarization on the barrel cover. We have luminescent hands, and we're going to demonstrate those now by turning off the light so you can see them to better advantage. The dial is multi-layered, multi-planar, different textures, tones, and materials, but it is easy to read. We have the rose gold numerals 12, 3, and 6, a sort of azurage concentric pattern on the scale for the minutes. You can see that its interface is beveled and polished. And then we'll flip it all over where the lavish decoration continues. We have these circular Côte de Genève on the outer planes of the movement. So this bridge up here that bears the ratchet wheel and the crown wheel, you can see both of them are solarized, albeit a little bit differently. This one features more of a snailing, then this one has a combination of a snailing inboard for the crown wheel core and more of a straight radial grain outboard. Look very carefully and you can see there's a bit of polishing on the ratchet wheel teeth. This is Armin Strom's caliber AMW11, so a manual wind movement with one barrel. It has 120 hours or 5 days of power reserve. It's adjusted in 5 positions, which is an elite level of adjustment. All of this is 5 ATM water resistant. The movement beats at a relatively low beat rate of 2.5 hertz or 18,000 vibrations per hour, but you can see that the balance is free sprung with a full balance bridge for shock tolerance and durability. Then it features an overcoil hairspring for concentric breathing in any physical position. Now you can also see the motion works on the dial side. The motion works featuring the minute wheel with the minute wheel pinion. The minute wheel pinion drives the hour wheel. The minute hand sits on the cannon pinion. And then you can see there's an intermediate wheel off to the side driving all of it. There's a little bit of engine turning surrounding the pivot for the barrel, flipped back over. And you can see that we have engine turning on the balance bridge as well. We also have two interior angles where bevels meet in a sharp crease. And then we have this lovely engraving outboard. If you look carefully, you can see that the bevels are all broad and mirrored. It is a good-looking movement. Polished screw heads, nicely executed. A really cool watch on a lot of levels. Now, Armin Strom watches include a little chin, or a goatee. That's a platform for customization, generally initials. Well, my name is Timothy Lane Mosso, and I don't know who owned this watch before me, but that is a perfect match. That's like a sign from God. Taking a quick look around it, you can see that there's sort of a radial lapping machine grain on the upper bezel, which has a polished outer face. The nuance all over this watch is excellent. Taking a look on the dial side, you can see how the bridges have been mirror polished and the bevels are evident even on the dial side of the watch. So there is a lot to appreciate from this independent brand. And you can see the movement is nice and large, properly filling the case back of this substantial watch. So if you love it, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.